Unsyndicated presents Off the Air with Sean Baligian.
It's only 26 days. I don't know if did you see that on the bottom? It's only 26 days. How is it? 26 days and we get to watch some college football. Isn't that great?
Couldn't come soon enough.
Yeah.
Legitimately.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. And you know what? A day like today makes me long for it even more because it was just miserable, humid, and I was an old man today. Even though it was like 82 degrees, I took my old man walk. I was soaked. I took my bike. I was soaked. Like, no, I want football weather. Damn it. Give me football weather.
With the Venn diagram, we could do like Sean Baligian, BYU students, and then in the middle is soaking. What do you think about that?
That sounds good to me. How you doing, buddy? You all right?
I'm hanging in there.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten a BYU reference off in a while, so that felt really good.
It is a very good thing. There's no doubt about that. Skydog. So when does the days turn to hours? How about, does anyone know where the love of God goes when the waves turn the minutes to hours?
You're doing a song thing again?
The searchers all say they'd have made Whitefish Bay if they put 15 more miles behind her. You have no idea, do you?
No.
The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Oh, I know that song.
I know, of course you do. Everybody knows that song. Everybody knows.
Do you think everyone in Michigan or like everywhere?
I think it's a very popular song. I think people in particular, probably around the Great Lakes. Yeah. And Ontario, because he was from Orillia, Ontario. So, yeah, I mean, it was a popular song. I mean, it was even a little bit before my time, and that's saying a lot. But, yeah, everybody knows that song, right? That haunting melody.
Yeah. Whatever you say. You're in charge.
All right, so I got to ask you, what do you make of this stuff that came out about Michigan today? The notice of whatever.
Notice of allegations.
There's one level 1 and a bunch of level 2s, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, your level of concern in any way, shape, or form? 0? Yeah.
Can you take away? Are they going to take away the ring?
I don't think so.
Okay, then we're good.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, I mean, obviously, like if it's going to hamper recruiting a lot or anything like that, like, yeah, like, does it stink? Yeah, don't get me wrong, especially for a team that's like kind of rebuilding on the fly, I would say. Like we've talked about, I think we both think the defense is still going to be really good.
It should be.
There's a lot of questions on the offense, especially at quarterback. So if it's going to hamper the recruiting and like how many scholarships they're allowed and stuff like that, then yeah, I mean, that part of it will stink, but you can do all of that. As long as I still have my national championship, we're good.
So again, I don't know for sure if this is true. I'm sure you saw and heard the same stuff that I did. One of the things that's being bantied about, and again, I need to say, I don't know this for sure, but one of the things that is being bantied about that the NCAA is looking for a 2 or 3 year postseason ban. That's one of the things that is bantied about.
That would be fun, yeah.
Do I know that to be true? I forget where I read it. It's one of the guys on Twitter. I apologize if I'm not giving proper attribution, but at least I'm not I'm not like trying to report it. Gosh, I forget who did it. I probably should remember. But somebody said that Michigan is ready to fight if they do try to uphold a 2 or 3 year postseason ban. And then, of course, you have all the stuff on both sides. They're going to make them vacate wins, all that stuff. I just, honestly, Blake, I don't think anything of that magnitude is going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, a postseason ban would be like nowadays, though, a postseason ban is like one step below the death penalty, because if you're just telling a team that they can't compete for a national championship.
And you don't get those extra,
Practices,
reps and
everything.
everything. Yeah, that's I always laugh when I hear somebody say death penalty. It makes me laugh. We are never, ever, ever getting back together, and we are never, ever, ever going to see a death penalty again. I cannot in any way, shape, or form see a set of circumstances where they tell somebody you've got not after what happened to SMU. I mean, it was a death penalty. I mean, it was. I mean,
Yeah.
legitimately. I couldn't envision a scenario where they say, yeah, you got the death penalty. You're just that's it. I can't, like, Blake, I can't even not
No,
even
if it was gonna happen in modern times, wouldn't it have been Penn State?
I think so.
Like
I
if
think so.
like something to that magnitude. Obviously, like that's like a whole nother level of stuff, like beyond the field. So if it was ever going to happen, I feel like it would have happened in that circumstance, and they didn't do it. So
that was one of the weirdest summers and falls. That whole, I don't want to relive that again. I mean, just some of the bat bleep crazy stuff that came out. That was incredible. It really was. All right, let me get to some comments here. Slap on the wrist, question mark, postseason banned. Skydog said, I wonder if it gets treated much the same way as when Tucker was fired, where they all just dropped the whole thing when Harbaugh signed with the Chargers. Okay, again, and I caution people, this is what happened. Somebody wrote that they're worried that the NCAA wants to make an example of Michigan because of Harbaugh. Now, again, honestly, how much power does the NCAA really have left? If we're being sincere, but that's one of the things that's out there. I don't think a lot is going to happen because of this. I really don't.
Yeah, I mean, if the NCAA really wants to make an example out of Michigan, like they don't have a foot to stand on, because it's like Michigan would just be like, all right, then we're out. Go play football like independently or what. Like they'd figure it out. It's just like we're closer to the days where these conferences are not affiliated with the NCAA.
Yep.
So why would you take a stand now of all times?
You know what, on a personal level, Blake, and we've both decided. I mean, when it comes out, I'll watch the Connor Stallions thing. I will. I mean, I think everybody around here will watch it. I told you on a personal level, I would love to get to the bottom of the Connor Stallions on the sideline at the Central Michigan thing.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, we all know what it was. Although it was kind of funny, there were a lot of people that were, that's not him. Well, here's a picture of him from this. Everybody and their brother knows it was him.
Mm-hmm.
How did he get there? Did Central know he was there? Those are the things that like I kind of want to get to. But I've said, do I think that anything's going to happen from this? No, I just don't. I don't. I don't. You know.
So would you be surprised with a postseason ban then?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I would you?
Yeah, because of what I just said. I don't understand why you're gonna make an example of them. What does that even mean?
Well, show you. It's Kirk said, who are you guys? No hat on both of you guys. See, I was complaining today. This is like my hair. It was so humid today. Mine just goes crazy and frizzy and permy. So I was like, I'm not putting on a hat. It's all over the place. So it's just kind of flopping again.
It looks fantastic though. You have a great head of hair.
Thank you. Thank you.
I admire to have the head of hair that you do at your age. I admire that.
When you're my age of 74, yes.
Oh,
yeah,
shut up.
Absolutely. Dave said that SMU 30 for 30 was one of the best ever. Blount was filling packets. I'm telling you, I agree with you. And boy, that team was fun to watch. That was that was a different era of football. And it was funny because I had Craig James on. I don't even remember what year, maybe 02, 03, a long, long time ago. And I told him, I said, like, I hope you understand, like, the impact that you made on people and everything. I said, I said, we were playing football on the playground in Livonia, Michigan, and dudes were going, "Oh, I'm Eric Dickerson. I'm Craig James." And he was like, "Are you crapping me?" I was like, "No, dude." I said, "You guys were fun." And we always used to go in before, back in the days of the Big Eight. I mean, practicing the bone in the backyard was the greatest. It was just, let's run the wishbone. We didn't have any clue what we were doing, but I thought it was cool to run and do the pitch at the same time and everything. And that goes back to something you and I have talked about. And I think why there's a kinship between you and I, Blake, is my college football world went so far beyond what was happening in East Lansing growing up and what was happening in Ann Arbor.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool to watch Jamal Holloway in Oklahoma. I thought it was cool to watch Nebraska, whether it be, Gill or, even going to the 90s, Tommy Frazier. I thought that stuff was cool. And the exotic West Coast and everything. So, yeah, man, if SMU was on and everybody was talking about the Pony Express, you're damn right. I wanted to watch that.
Yeah. Is Craig James still working like in the sport at all?
I don't think so.
He was. I know.
Got over on Craig James.
When you said that name, that's like, as sad as it is, like my age, like that's the first thing that came to mind. Legitimately, was the whole Mike Leach thing.
Skydog said, "I feel like others do that the NCAA wanted Harbaugh." I don't think there's any debate about that. I don't think he was less than. I hope we can all be adults. He was less than forthcoming about all of this, and the whole "it's a cheeseburger" stuff. Like, come on, stop it. It wasn't a cheeseburger. It was never about a cheeseburger. But is this stuff to hang a guy on the cross about? Come on. You know what I mean? Is it just me, or does it seem like about the only ones that refuse to drop this are those connected to Ohio State, especially their fans? You know what? Can I speak for Ohio State for a second?
Oh, of course you want to. Of course.
Yeah.
Mr. Ryan Day.
I forgot. I still can't believe that conversation.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
Ryan Day's worst year was ranked number 10 in the nation. Like, and I had people like after the show going, "Hey man, why are you sticking up for Ryan Day?" Yeah, I'm speaking
because
facts.
You love him.
If that
you love
means
him.
that I'm speaking, if I'm sticking up for Ryan Day, then I'm guilty as charged.
You love Ryan Day.
Mike said it was always about a cheeseburger. Erroneous. Oh gosh, it was never about a cheeseburger. Let's all be adults, right? No, all jokes aside, do you know why Ohio State can't let it go? You guys know the answer to this. They can't figure out what happened so fast. That's the truth, right?
Yeah.
That surely Michigan had to have cheated. How could they go from a program that was going like this for a couple of years to literally bottoming out in 2020 to, whether you guys want to admit it or not, ducking Ohio State in 2020? You did. Come on, be honest. You did. To absolute domination the next 3 years in the Big Ten. Surely it can't be the work that they did on and off the field, right?
And those two of those 3 years dominating Ohio State.
Right. So surely it can't be that maybe Harbaugh got him in amongst the weeds, did what most every other program does. And now I never have to listen to you people. And yes, I dropped you people. That doesn't happen at my school. Shut the hell up with that. It happens at every school. That's the way it is, man. Like, wake the bleep up, right? So, to Skydog's point, I think that's what surely it can't be that they just got better. It can't be, right?
Yeah.
And unless there's evidence that comes to light, which is never going to happen, of, direct stallions to Harbaugh and, hi, Connor, go do this for us. Love, Jim, which we're never going to find.
Do you think, though? Okay, here's the one thing. You want me to get all tinfoil hat?
All right.
Okay, so say Harbaugh wasn't giving direct orders.
Mm-hmm.
What if Sharon Moore was? And now he's the active head coach.
I don't know. I don't know how you're going to find that out. I mean, Connor Stallions is dumb. He's not the brightest lad, right?
Yeah.
Like
also
that,
nuts.
but at the same time, like full-fledged. The manifesto is.
We should
do a dramatic reading of the manifesto. Like you and I should do a dramatic reading of.
We should all just be happy that he wasn't like a political sycophant or something like that. Like the fact that it was just Michigan football, we should all be very thankful. That's all I have to say about that.
It's like Todd said, though, and I agree 100% with Todd. I think they knew what they had at their disposal, and I think they also knew that there was no way there was going to be a trail coming back to them. I think that's what it was.
You want me to get real tinfoil hat?
Yes, I love it.
Mike Hart. That's why he's gone. He's not there anymore. What if Mike Hart's really the link between everything? He brings it all together, and now he's gone. They had to get rid of the lovable son to make this all work out in the long run.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes. All right.
I think that's it. I think I got it figured out.
Yep, I'll buy that. No doubt. Who gets more wins this season, Moore or Harbaugh? I like San Diego. I think San Diego's got a pretty good roster.
They're like built to win already.
I like San Diego. Oh, sorry. LA. Honestly, I like that team. But all right, if I think that Michigan's going 9-3. Do they do better than 9-8? Yes. Yeah, 10 and 7.
10, 11 wins.
10 and 7. Can I explain? Because I want to explain something to you. I want to talk to you logically about this because somebody got mad at me about this the other day. So
Okay.
You and I haven't talked about this yet. And I'm going to say it for the record. I wouldn't be shocked if Michigan found itself in the playoff, right? Like, I wouldn't be shocked. I think they're going to be on the outside looking in. And here's why. If we are going to assume, like, let me name the Texas playoff team or not?
Yes.
Okay. Texas SEC champion or not?
No.
There's one potential team that can hurt Michigan.
Yeah.
By the way they're playing.
Yeah.
Okay. If Texas beats Michigan, forget 2 strikes. That's 3 strikes. Okay. Okay. Ohio State, Oregon. I think when you're talking about not only are you playing some of these teams and that can hurt you, but a lot of these teams are also going to be in a position to take one of those at-large bids. Like, think about it. It's in all likelihood, wouldn't you agree? It's either going to be, well, who am I talking to? You're not going to agree. It's either going to be Ohio State or Oregon, right? Most people seem to think it's going to be Ohio State and Oregon. Well, one of those teams are going to take one of the at-large bids. Texas, who, if they beat Michigan, is going to take one of the at-large bids. At the end of the day, Blake, I think you're probably going to see a scenario work itself out. You tell me if you agree or disagree. You'll probably see at least a couple Big 12 teams, right? Probably, yeah, at least a couple. I'm going to stick with 2. 2 or 3 ACC teams.
2.
Let's be honest. Okay, so that's 4.
And realistic, and like, to be fair though, it could be 1. If that league just craps its pants, it could be 1. Most likely 2.
All right, so let's work under the assumption. Let's work under the assumption that is 2 from each of those conferences. There's 4. SEC gets 4. I don't think that's
at least 3. At least 3.
All right, let's go with 3. So that's 7. Big Ten gets 3.
3 at least. Yep.
At-large bid gets 1 automatic. Liberty. Remember, we both said this, by the way. I think I can speak for you here. Liberty's going to the college football playoff this year. Just set your watch to it. They're going to the college football playoff. So you either have no spots left or maybe 1 spot up for grab between the SEC and the Big. So as I said, I think we're going into uncharted territory. Michigan could be a very good 9-3 team. Let's flip. Texas could be a very good 9-3 team and still miss the playoff. Like that's the reality now of college football. It's crazy how that works. And Blake, I can't wait to see it manifest itself. But I got to be honest with you, I like it. I kind of like that. That it sucks. Oh well, a good 9-3 team's going to stay home. But I think you're going to be able to easily take the argument out of it too. If Michigan beats Texas and you're sitting in a room and you're debating, well, who should we take, Texas out of the SEC or Michigan out of the Big? Well, everybody and their brother knows, whether you people still want to admit it or not, the SEC is a better conference. But if Michigan beat Texas at that point in time, to me, Blake, the argument ends. Wait, whoa. They played head to head, right? Okay, cool. Let's go. See ya. Bye.
I agree.
So that would be.
I said it for weeks now. I don't think Michigan is beating Texas.
But do you understand? That's my worry about a team like Michigan, because of course Michigan hater. I got all that stuff. So
you're Ryan. It's more of you're a Ryan Day lover.
I am a Ryan Day lover.
You ride for Ryan.
That's
what you do.
It is such a bad bit.
It's a great bit.
I know No, you and the I love Ryan, but the Ryan Day sucks bit is just so bad. I mean, his worst year was better than Harbaugh's best year in Harbaugh's first 6 years. Like, knock it off.
He's a very cute, good coach. He's just a cute little guy down there in Columbus. He just does his thing, gets his little 5 stars, and then gets his ass whooped by Michigan.
Let me get some things. Why is Oregon being seen as a team that can lose their starting quarterback and still be just as good as they were last year? Blake, I think it's safe to say you and I have been talking about Oregon since last year.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say last year, I mean after their season ended. Blake, you were really high on them last year as it was. Okay, but I think we both, in my mind, Skydog, to answer your question, to me, last year was, golly gee, we just came close. And this year, they're a year older, and they still have a pretty damn good quarterback at the helm.
Yeah, and Dylan Gabriel's played college football since I was in high school, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
He's played college football forever. And he fits what they want to do perfectly. He's an upgrade to Bo Nix. Like what they want to do in their offense. He just fits them schematically perfectly. And you know what? If he doesn't work out, we just have this 5-star behind him named Dante Moore.
You got it.
So they're good.
Isn't that Dante Moore's 15th college already too? Hasn't he bounced around a little bit? Local kid. Yeah. Sorry you tuned in late, turned off the Tigers, listened to you guys while in the hospital after knee replacement. All the best, Mike. I was talking to Mike earlier. I was talking to Mike. Earlier.
Fast recovery, Michael.
Yeah. Now our buddy Mike Cusack, and we'll talk a little bit about his business in a second. Really appreciate those guys. You know that. He said 6-7 wins for the Chargers. Who on that offense between Herbert, or Ladd, and McConkey? Josh Palmer. I'm looking at their depth chart right now. Josh Palmer is on one side. Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins in the backfield. DJ Shark, Brandon Rice, Quentin Johnston. That is their depth at wide receiver. It's not exactly murderer's row there. It's not bad, but it's not murderer's row. Will Dissly at tight end, Hayden Hurst as a backup. I really like Justin Herbert. I do. I like.
They're gonna have good O-line play.
Mm-hmm.
They drafted Joe Alt. They already had what's his name from Northwestern.
Zion Johnson?
No, isn't it like Slater?
Yeah, the Rashawn Slater. Yeah, Zion Johnson is he went high from BC, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna have a very, very good offensive line. And that's kind of Harbaugh's MO.
Yeah. And I mean, it's you know what he's gonna I think they're a good team. Like seriously. I don't think 10-7's out of the equation.
No.
I'm gonna say it again. Like you Michigan fans, like 9-3 is not a bad season.
No.
You know, it's not a bad
Not after losing everything they did.
No, not a bad season at all. So we'll wait and see. I mean,
I'll still be upset about it. Don't get me wrong. I'll be
course.
irrational in the season. Right now, I can be rational.
I'm going to say it again. No, you can't. You can now. When August starts, it's crazy month, and we can all get loony.
I got 2 days.
I think 9 wins for the Spartans, and people get loony like that. But I'm going to say it again. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if I'm wrong, and Michigan got in as like the 11 seed. I wouldn't be shocked. That wouldn't shock me. That's my concern, though, because a couple of people asked me. That's my concern. If all things are being equal and you got Ohio State and Oregon, they're ahead of them in the depth chart in the conference, and you got, Ole Miss and Georgia and Texas and Bama out of the SEC, I think it's a case of musical chairs, and maybe, just maybe, there's going to be a couple good teams at 9-3 that don't have a seat to sit.
I just want to know what's going on with quarterback. Because I don't. Do you want me to be honest?
Yeah,
I don't want to do the Alex Orji thing.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to do the Alex Orji thing, but I don't want to do the Alex Orji thing.
right.
I don't need Jalen Milroe.
Ray said, if it's ND or SEC, Big Ten, third or fourth team, who gets the last spot? Ray, I think you're picking up exactly what I'm trying to feed off. It depends. If you're talking about, Texas versus Michigan, then you could go head to head. And I think you're going to see more of that as well. You're going to say, hey, wait a second, this team played that team. And you're going to see, the out of conference schedules improve. And it's about time. Can we all say that? It's about time. I get it. Get a couple directional teams on your schedule. That's good for the state and gets them a paycheck. But we got to kind of improve these.
Well, if the SEC would grow up and play 9 conference games too, that would help a little bit. Grow up.
Do you know what I hate? I hate that bit, right? Because, so it'll be the second or third week of November and people are crying about who Alabama's playing, right? Well, what good does it do to play Alabama A&M Prairie like that? And it's like, well, while you were playing Sierra Madre A&M Prairie in the second week of September, a lot of these teams are playing in conference games early. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird how sometimes the schedule kind of configures itself that way. Like, and a lot of times there's some big early SEC conference games while we're in the out of conference slate. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but they get an extra one of those.
Yeah. Oh,
That's why.
Look at what Chris said. I feel like I'm in an alternate universe. Is this because of the no hat thing? Is that
Kenny Brown already I tweeted out the show and he's like, no, he just replies, no hat. Shout out KB.
Hi, Kenny. A hats free broadcast. There's another one. Liken, so to speak, McNamara to JJ. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
I
don't think Bo Nix was as mid as McNamara. Can I say that mid? That's hip. I think the kids are still saying mid.
I think Bo Nix was very overrated though.
Yeah. I mean, I have a long-standing rivalry with Bo Nix. I hate Bo Nix.
Very overrated. Like,
shout out Dave Rieger though.
That's
all yours, buddy.
Like, honestly, did you guys did you guys watch those games? Like Blake and I talked about this all year, and no, Blake, I'm not trying to go, nah. Like, Blake told me all year, like, Oregon's going to knock off Washington, and they didn't. And then for the championship game, Blake said, Oregon's going to knock off Washington, and I took Washington. And the only reason they didn't knock off Washington is because of Bo Nix. You guys watched that game.
Yeah.
He short-armed everything. It was weird. OU was supposed to be dominant with Gabriel, and he was average. They had more talent last year with Bo. You really think Gabriel is an upgrade?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
that Oklahoma team would have been way worse without Dylan Gabriel. That Oklahoma team got gutted after what's his name left. Lincoln.
Do you know what I think happens a lot of times too? And I think you touched on this. A lot of times it's almost like, to use a Lions reference, when the genius Lombardi was here, you try to make a quarterback fit into your system and pound that square head into the round hole. And I've never, ever understood that. To me, no, you should make your system work for your quarterback, not the quarterback work for your system. Because the quarterback is the guy that makes plays. Your system doesn't go make the plays. The quarterback makes the plays. So a lot of times what happens is you could get a stud and he could be at a place and it just doesn't fit his skill set. Like, whoever told Troy Aikman he should go to the University of Oklahoma in the mid-'80s, that's moronic. It's not his game. You know what I mean? So he goes up to UCLA and he's throwing all over the place and he's the number one draft choice. So I think, Blake, you're on to something when you suggest that. I think that his skill set and what Oregon does fits hand in glove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, it works out perfect because if he doesn't work out, they have Dante Moore behind him.
Mike said about the Chargers, yikes, worse after hearing it out loud. You know what Jim Harbaugh can do with an offensive line, though? I think they're going to be pretty darn good. Oh, wait a second. Now that he's not at Michigan, he's not the greatest coach on earth? That's not a Michigan man to me.
Imagine what Ryan Day could do, according to you. Imagine what Ryan Day could do with that.
Exactly what he'd go. He'd go 18-0 in a 17-game season. And then people would call him soft.
Well, he is soft. That part's a fact.
Jimmy said, Blake, instead of looking at the last 3 Michigan-Ohio State games, how about go back a few years before that? It's all cyclical, my friend. Don't act like this hasn't been going on forever.
I went through a lot of pain during those years. I know.
No, you guys did. Listen, whether you guys want to admit it or not, okay? Of course you don't. You know what? I can admit it. Do you know how great it was to suddenly walk outside and see my Michigan-loving neighbor, Mike, on College Football Saturdays? Because in College Football Saturdays, I'd hide in the house. But all of a sudden, things started to change. So, yeah, you know what? All of a sudden, I might go outside and wash my car on a Saturday afternoon. Well, hi, neighbor. Did you watch any college football today? I don't blame you. I don't, seriously. I don't have any, all jokes aside. The only problem I have with you people is you people acting like Ryan Day is just awful.
Because you love him.
That bit just makes me laugh. I mean, your savior's best year from 2015 to 2021, okay, was 10th in the nation. And a whole lot of meh mixed in there. Ryan Day's worst year is 10th in the nation. Come on. But it's the bit. Blake, all jokes aside, they were your tormentors. Well, now you can torment them. I get it. Totally get it. I did the same thing in the aughts. I think I told you before the 2008 game. I told my son, I said, I'm going to tell you something. I want you to go to school today, and all those kids that have tormented you your whole life, I want you to tell them in 4th grade that Michigan State is going to kick the crap out of Michigan tomorrow. I'm telling you, I call your shot, go to school and tell them that Michigan State is going to kick the crap out of Michigan tomorrow. right? Jack calls me. I'm at a hockey broadcast the day of the game. Jack calls me, and he's furious at me because if Michigan was up like 21-14. I'm going to get killed. You made it worse. How dare you? You did this on purpose. And I was like, kid, relax. And they ended up winning 35-21. Yes, that's part of, I get it. Like, I don't have any problem with that. You know where the problem comes in? Sometimes, and this is where Ohio State fans are at right now. Sometimes you have to just shut your mouth. Right? Sometimes it's just, but just shut up. Give the tip of the cap. You're the champs, man.
I mean, this is the year. Right? For them. Like everything they've done, they have to.
Yeah.
If they don't, then I'm all in on the bit. I'm all in. Oh, I'm gonna be insufferable.
So if my immortal beloved Ryan Day doesn't
the man of
win,
your dreams
let's say goes 10-2 and gets to the playoff and loses in the first round. It's
who are the two losses?
Oregon and my butt. I'm
saying I'm talking about I'm talking about one game.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
Oh yeah, if you get them this year, come on, that's right. I get it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. What goes around comes around. Rivalry is back. Tell the truth, Sean. Oh, absolutely. Who can deny that? 100%. There's nothing, and like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. They tormented you for years. Mm-hmm. Give it back. Just like so many people got mad at Michigan State. What did you expect Michigan State fans to do? Well, big brother, we sure did try hard today. No, we curb stomped you. Like, stop it. What do you expect? I don't have a problem with that stuff. I don't have a problem with that at all.
That's what makes college football the best. All of it.
Yeah. Shauner's butt for the win. Nice caboose player. Yes, absolutely. Maybe we should talk about some of our friends. Why not? Right?
Yeah. We're 40 minutes in, so it's probably
40 minutes. Why would we want to do that? Boy, when we get going, let's start with our friends at All About Catering. All About Catering, LLC, is a full-service caterer. Graduations, weddings, bridal showers, corporate events, anything you need catering for from 25 to 4,000 people, All About Catering will take care of you. Customer service and satisfaction is their number one goal. So don't sweat your next big event. Just go to allaboutcateringllc.com today to see their menus and all their 5-star reviews. They took care of my family, Rick and his staff, great people. They'll take care of you. Call 586-731-1398. That's 586-731-1398 to get your event started. Shauner just for men, jet black is his hair to show his love for
You're going to go full Coach K. Coach K.
I swear to God, listen to me. And Kristen is in there. She's in that. I would never dye my hair. Never. Like this is au natural. Here. Can you see there's gray? See? I do not dye my hair. No. I might though, because I love Ryan Day so much.
That's what I'm Coach K.
Can I be honest with you though? Are you ready to laugh at me? And you tell me if you can relate to this. So I'm doing the prep kickoff classic at Wayne State. So I can't go to opening game for Michigan State. And so we were talking about which games are we going to go up there and hang out. And September 28th came up, and that's when Ohio State's coming to town. Why would I go to that game? Like, I'm not being funny. Why would I go to that game?
Extra money for your therapist? That's about it.
No, I know what's going to happen in that game. And then, you get, you never know. Shut up. Yes, I do know. Ohio State is going to stomp on them. And didn't you do the same thing, Blake? If there was, some of those games against Michigan State, or even maybe one of those games against Ohio State, somebody, hey, Blake, do you want to go to the big house? Hell no. Why on earth would I go watch that with my own two eyes? No. Hell no. I need to be as close to my liquor cabinet as possible. Are you kidding me? He does not dye his hair. Look at, thank you. He does not dye his hair. He has a beautiful head, if slightly pepper hair. Why he hides it under a hat, I don't know. Somebody better grab me a hat now. I'm not, it's garbage to talk that way. So thank you. That's very nice, but thank you. Drinking hard cider that day. Yeah, why? Sorry, I don't have any. If I know that my team is going to get crucified, okay, it's one thing to, well, maybe they're not going to beat Ohio State. It'll be the same thing. Hey, Blake, I'll be completely honest with you. Hey, man, I got a couple extra tickets. You want to go to the state game in Ann Arbor? No. Why the hell would I do that? How about we stick a hot poker up my ass and then throw darts at my eyeballs? Why the hell would I do? What are you, out of your mind? Why would you do that? No, thank you. Skydog said no more than I would go to Spartan Stadium to see them play anyone other than Michigan. I get it. I like going to, I'm serious though. I miss going to Michigan Stadium. It's been a few years since I've seen a game there. As a college football fan, I like going there, but I'm not going to go watch my team get crucified. Now, I would have gone there as a fan in 2010. Like, I knew they were going to beat them. There's no doubt in my mind they were going to beat them. And we brought up the 2008 game. Like, Javon Ringer could have ran for 700 yards that game. Same thing. I would have gone to that game. But even a 50-50 game, the 2015 game, trouble with the snap, if somebody said I got a couple extra tickets, I go, no, sorry. But I'm not. No, why would I? Isn't
First
that the last
First
place?
you bring up how much you love Ryan Day, and then you bring up that game. I'm not interested.
No, but you know what I'm saying. Why that? No, I don't.
No,
want
I agree. Hey, why don't you, not to distract you, but I'm going to distract you. Why don't you talk about one of our friends? Then I have a Lions question for you. How about that?
All right. Hold on a second. Might help it might help if I turn my phone on.
That might help. You're doing a great job today. Look at us. No hats, just
dude,
hanging
you
out.
know what? Like, honestly, I'm becoming delirious. I need football so badly. And Thursday
game Thursday.
It's gonna help me though. That's the worst part. It's gonna help me.
You need to get PS5. Just get on the sticks. Get a lot of NCAA action.
Let's talk about Lindsay Broadwell. When it's time to buy, maybe you're selling both, you need the right agent. You know who I recommend? Right there. Lindsay Broadwell. Your house is probably the biggest investment you'll ever make, and that's why you need a pro. Lindsay grew up on the mean streets of Northville and has expanded her team all over Southeast Michigan. She is an expert in all facets of the business. When it's time to move, our friend Lindsay and her team will make sure you get the most out of your house and everything goes smoothly when finding your new home. Buyer, seller, first-time buyer, doesn't matter. Make sure you contact Lindsay BroadwellHomes.com. She'll help you with everything from start to close. Licensed realtor at Real Broker LLC. Start your search today at BroadwellHomes.com. All right. Ray said, you guys see the list of top 25 college football players since 2000. Who would be your number one? Sue was number one on the list online. Burrow was number one. Boy, that's a good question. I did not see the list. Boy, if I had to
Ray,
pick
where was that list at? Because now I need to look it up.
Wow, a one?
I mean, Sue was dominant, but
he was
Joe
dominant.
Burrow had like the greatest college football season ever.
I wouldn't put him number one.
Who would you put number one since 2000?
I'm thinking, because a lot of times with these things, I think what people forget about is they forget about guys from 15, 16 years ago.
Chase Daniel, yeah.
Slayton at West Virginia. No, but I mean, all jokes aside,
Steve Slayton was awesome.
He really was.
Pat White. Noel Devine.
Connor Cook. Tony Romo.
Tony Romo.
Tigers lose 8-4. Shocker. Adrian Peterson was unbelievable. He really was. LaDainian Tomlinson, he was phenomenal. I think there is a chronic, and I mean chronic, disrespect of LaDainian Tomlinson. I think it's really.
Oh,
you
yeah.
You ever see those things, those build a team for $15 or whatever, and you can't, when they have like this guy's $5, this guy's $4. They had LaDainian Tomlinson listed as a $1 player.
That's
Like
insane.
whoever did that should be shot.
Yeah.
LaDainian Tomlinson is insane. There was a time until he started to slow down. I remember having this conversation, Mike Husak, if you're still there. I remember having this conversation with Jeff Husak about Tomlinson going, okay, if he does this a few more years, you're going to have to put him in that rarefied air of going, is this one of the best guys that we ever saw? We both agreed that it wasn't there yet, but if it continued, I loved that guy. I had one of those, remember those fatheads? I had a giant fathead in my basement. He was one of the most entertaining guys to watch. He did everything. I think people forget that. He did everything. Yes, he could throw touchdowns too.
And who was the fullback that they had that was awesome too on the Chargers?
Was it the Samoan guy? I don't remember. Look that up. I don't. Reggie Bush was unbelievable. Say whatever you want. Like, all jokes aside, Reggie Bush in college, Skydog, I agree with you, was unbelievable. McFadden, David, I know you brought that up before. Him in Arkansas was phenomenal.
He was so good.
Phenomenal.
Lorenzo Neal.
Oh yeah, Lorenzo Neal.
He was
I think
awesome.
Atlanta regrets that trade when they traded the pick to get Vic. Natrone means. Do you remember Natrone means business? They had Mike said Dingler 1 for 3 with a walk and a K. Will they trade a pitcher tomorrow? I think Flaherty's gone. I think they'll hold on.
Yeah, why else would they pull him?
Yeah, I think. Well, a lot of times it's for precautionary reasons, if that makes sense. Like, okay, God forbid something happens. Then we're not able to trade him or something like that.
Well, I think
I bet Scooble stays. I hope I'm wrong.
I saw on Twitter, and now I'm going to double check myself, but I'm pretty sure JP Morosi was saying there's like two teams, like there's a bidding war going on for Flaherty. I think it was him that said that. Let me double check.
Boy, Marshall Falk was phenomenal too. He's another guy. Just I think somewhere along the way, people forgot about a couple guys. He was obviously a few years before LT, but in my mind, I think those are two running backs that, like, when you're talking about great running backs, like LT listed for $1 was heresy to me. It really was. It heresy. Bill says it based just on what guys did in college or what it did in the NFL as well. No, college. I will say this again, okay? Blake, you can laugh at me. Tim Tebow has to be near the top of that list as well.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Tim Tebow was an absolute weapon. He's one of the most dominant college football players I've ever seen. And I think everybody knew it wasn't going to work in the NFL. But he was Ohio State's quarterback a couple of years. Troy Smith. There's another guy. He wasn't playing in the NFL, but he was a heck of a quarterback. And then for college, and good fit Ohio State. And
you know who else?
Who?
Dennis Dixon.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a great example. Tebow was number 5. No crap.
Is Cam on the list? I know Cam only had 1 year, but that 1 year was incredible.
Dude, listen, honest to goodness, I think I'd put Tim Tebow at number 1. I mean that. I do.
I can see that argument 100%.
I think he got robbed his last year. He should have won the Heisman his last year. And all the old people that here's the crazy thing about it.
Were you a voter that year?
Yes. I'm still one of the youngest voters, and I'm 54.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, think about that. But all these guys, it was the worst logic. They were all saying, Well, Archie Griffin's what does Archie Griffin have to do with Tim Tebow being the best player in college football? And then we saw how that season ended. Now in fairness, it wasn't Colt McCoy's fault, but we saw how that season ended, and Florida went on and blew the game away and everything. Honey Badger was great for that 1 year. The battle for Blake's heart.
The fuck is this, Todd? Somebody take the AI away from Todd. Seriously. Oh my God.
Peter Warwick. Boy, that's. Oof.
Can I ask you a Lions question?
Yeah.
Where are the Lions getting all this money? And can I have some?
It's amazing.
Are you in the camp of like, you're fine, just pay him whoever it is, just let it go?
For the offensive line, yes.
Okay.
And can I tell you why?
Yeah.
And I know that people are going to take this as a shot at Jared Goff, and I hate Jared Goff, and I've gone on record as saying I hate Jared Goff and all that. Jared Goff is the poster child of, if you protect him, he can be a pretty darn good quarterback. If you can't protect him, he's awful. He is literally the poster child for that. And Blake, as we talked about, tip of the cap, I never thought that this guy would bounce back. Okay. Full marks, full credit. Okay. But the other side to that argument is like people's inability to go, okay, not only was he like really bad with the Rams that last spell, but he was really bad for large portions of his first couple of years here.
Yeah.
Why? He wasn't protected. And don't get me wrong, every quarterback needs protection, especially in the National Football League. I think there are some quarterbacks, though, when you pressure them, they can still hurt you. No quarterback likes pressure. There are some quarterbacks that can still hurt you. Jared Goff isn't one of them. So to me, honest to goodness, and if I'm overthinking this, you yell at me or anybody else yell at me. I'm totally cool. I mean that with Jared Goff as the quarterback, as long as he's got a damn good offensive line in front of him. And to me, you lock that up and you take care of that baby.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Some of these guys that like, obviously we know, we both are 99.9% sure Laporte is going to work out, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I think he's one of the best tight ends in the game right now.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not being a slapdick. I think he's one of the best tight ends in the game right now.
Okay, Branch, we're pretty sure is going to work out, right?
I think so.
Okay.
I was about to be slappy, but I stopped myself.
Jack Campbell?
Yes.
Okay, and I know linebackers don't get paid that much, even if they are really good.
Mm-hmm.
But still, you got all these guys now, these young guys that are going to be up for deals. Like, it's just, there's only so much money, right? There is a cap.
You, especially in one of the things that I wanted to bring up today, again, you're not going to hear it. I'm not going to go as far as to say it's camp happy times. Okay. Like Mariucci, we're building something special here. Legoland, everybody singing Kumbaya by the fire, holding hands and all that crap. I respect Dan Campbell because I think while Dan Campbell is the poster child for enthusiasm and everything, I think Dan Campbell does a good job of keeping it real. And he spoke to my heart today. I don't know if you heard what he said. And of course, like a dummy, I wrote a bunch of notes and left it upstairs. So I'm going to have to paraphrase. But he was talking about the cornerbacks. And I told you, you have to be worried about the cornerbacks. Like you're not like, you have to be, right? I mean, I think it's going to be okay, but you're talking about a whole.
It's not fixed until I see it's fixed.
Right. And it was funny because he kind of said the same thing. He said, I like what they've shown. I like the coverage that I've seen. I want to see the toughness in action, and he's right. He's like, you can say until you're blue in the face that everything's okay, but I think it has to manifest itself. And this, Blake, is where maybe I separate from you and maybe some other people. If Brad Holmes is okay and he's got his fingerprints on it, I'm cool with it. That's what makes me think things are okay, if that makes sense. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tua will make more money in 1 year of his new deal at $53 million than Dan Marino made in his career. Quarterback contracts are getting ridiculous. It
They
is.
are.
It is amazing.
Two again paid like that is crazy.
Todd said the window is only going to be wide open for so long. Spend it now; it will pay dividends for years, like the old NFC Central champs banner at the Silverdome. Todd, to that point, I present the Buffalo Bills. Like, I think we all think that good times are going to last forever. And don't get me wrong, the Bills have had a nice little run here, but I think people thought they would be able to mix in a Super Bowl by now. I'm telling you, I was talking to somebody about this today on Twitter. Just one, all is forgiven. Everything. It's all forgiven. The torture that you put me through in my life, I'm not just talking about as a fan. I'm talking about working. The Sundays you ruined for me. The Sundays where I came home from work after doing a post-game show or doing the TV thing and my kids hid from me because they knew Dad was in a pissed off mood. One Super Bowl. It's all forgiven. And then I go to my late grandfather's grave and I do a jig around his grave. And I do a jig and I sing a Super Bowl song. And I'm also going to be pouring beers on myself because he told me on Thanksgiving of 1980 that he loved me and I should just not waste my time with the Detroit Lions because they were going to break my heart my entire lifetime. And you know what? Almost 44 years later, he's not wrong yet. So yes, one time, just one. It's all forgiven. That's it. Like Blake, Michigan is paid off for you the rest of your days, right? The rest of your days. That's it. You're cool. And that's why I say so many times, like using the Tigers as an example. There are generations of people well into their 40s now that have absolutely no memory of what took place in 1984. Okay, one. That's just one. The Lions are something different, though. I mean, they, when you talk about futility, love them, but you have to be factual about it. You get me one Super Bowl win, that's it. I'm cool. I'm not going to sit back and say, I'll never bitch again or anything like that. But everything that you've done to me in my lifetime is forgiven. I'm serious. That's it. Skydog said, can you say we haven't seen a coach like Campbell since Jacques Demers? That's a really good point. And let me tell you why that's a really good point. Are you familiar with the work of Jacques Demers, Blake?
I'm not.
Jacques Demers was a guy that came in and basically got the whole gang to sing Kumbaya and come together early on in his tenure at places. And then people kind of got sick of the message after a couple years, and he flamed out more often than not at places. He flamed out here in Detroit. He flamed out and lost his job 2 years after winning the Cup in Montreal. They said he was in the process of flaming out in St. Louis before he left to come to Detroit. And he, in fairness to him, he didn't have a chance in Tampa. But he was like the ultimate player's coach. Dan Campbell is a player's coach, and Dan Campbell deserves full marks for changing that culture, which unfortunately I saw too many times and too many weeks up close and personal. Might that wear thin on guys? Might that message wear thin? I think the difference maybe with Dan Campbell is he's one of the boys, whereas Jacques Demers wasn't, if that makes sense. Jacques was just a coach.
Couldn't you say similar things about Harbaugh?
Yes. Yep. I think that's a difference. I really do. He's one of the guys. He's in the club. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jason said, embrace Shauner's bosom. Glomo. This Detroit team reminds me of the 96 Lions with Scott Mitchell. If the quarterback lets the talent help him, they will succeed. If Goff tries to go out and do it himself, you will get the Philly 96 playoff game. The 95 team. Herman Moore was next to unstoppable. That was my first year in the business. I was all in on that team. Like all in. I can't stress that. Blake, they were 3-6 and went on a 7-game win streak where they were pummeling people. And then I know we talked about this with our mutual friend Lomas. They got absolutely pounded in that playoff game at Philly. And the worst thing, what was it, 58-37? And it wasn't even that close. It wasn't even that close. That's how bad that game was. By the way, did I mention Blake comes to us courtesy of the Mitch Album Show and Sports Rap on 760 WJR?
Today was my first day back. 2 weeks.
How'd that go?
Today was my first day back in 2 weeks.
How'd it go? How'd it go?
I was there. We can move on.
I like what Jason said. Jason said, I am retiring SOL this season, but it will never be off the back burner until they win a Super Bowl. See, Jason, I'm with you. I same old Lions to me died last year. It died because none of us have seen the Lions win 2 playoff games. None of us. And they won 2 playoff games in 2 weeks, right? Now, and I don't think this is going to happen, if they pull a 1992 and fall flat on your face, all bets are off. Because whether people want to believe it or not, even with the injuries to the offensive line going into the 92 season, everybody thought that they were going to get at least back to where they were, if not to the Super Bowl, right? If by some strange chance, Blake, they 7-10, 8-9, all bets are off. All that stuff. I'm with you, Jason.
I think that
people want to admit it or not.
I think that's the thing that like sports fans forget about in their little bubble, and Lions fans are included in this. Other teams got better too. That's how the offseason works.
Right.
Like, yes, there's teams that didn't get a lot better, but there's teams that got a lot better. That's how football works.
I was just
talking. As much as you think the Lions got so much better, guess what? Someone else probably got a lot better too.
I was just talking about that, and we'll talk about this on an upcoming hockey show. I couldn't agree with you more. I think a lot of Red Wing fans are doing that to themselves right now. I really do. Look, I'm not out. There's a lot of talent there. Steve's done it the right way, okay? But you know what the problem is? You know who else has done it the right way? The Buffalo Sabres. You know who else has done it the right way? The Montreal Canadiens. They're in your own division now. And it's funny because if you look at some of these prospect pools now, right, where, maybe last year Detroit was here, Buffalo was there, Montreal was there. What you've seen now is, because again, this team has 2 first-round draft choices. This team has 2 first-round draft choices. And I think, Blake, kudos to you for bringing it up. I think people forget, oh, wait a second. The Packers, remember them? Remember we thought we banished them? We thought we banished them, and then Thanksgiving happened, and then we saw how good Jordan Love got. Well, he's back. And they've also kind of revamped things around him too.
And their
right?
whole offense is in like their 3rd year.
And by the Niners, are you familiar with the San Francisco 49ers? They're going to be pretty pissed off too, because they're going to look at a Super Bowl that they felt they should have had. And I think sometimes people forget that.
Yeah.
This is why young Blake is on the show. He's a smart lad.
I do my best.
Sean B will be calling for Ryan Day as the next Lions coach of Campbell.
It's true.
Okay. Funny. Eric said, yo, Sean couldn't tune in Wi-Fi. Oh, that sucks. Michigan 2023 was much more different because they were almost always very competitive, but they could never get over the hump until last year.
I don't know. That first playoff game wasn't competitive.
No. No.
And the TCU game was just frustrating.
Yeah.
I wanted to drive my head through a wall of concrete.
That was, you know what, though? That was one of the rare times, though, Blake, is I think a lot of times people think in terms of series of steps. Well, if we did this year, then surely next year will be this. And then next year, with Michigan football, it truly was. It was, golly gee, we finally won the Big Ten. Let's drop our pants around our ankles. Uh-oh, we left our pants around the ankles, and they took us outside and had their way with us. That first one, right? The second one was, yeah, we're back, but we're not going to get punked again. We're just going to lose to a team we should never lose to. And then the third one was that next step.
Yeah.
Eric said, are the Yankees getting a Tigers pitcher? There's a lot of rumors with Jack Flaherty going to New York. I know Nestor Cortez's name was thrown around. I don't know if that meant going back to Detroit or they would get rid of Nestor Cortez, who, let's be honest, it hasn't happened. And they would get rid of him to have Jack Flaherty and put together a package. But I know that was one of the trade rumors making the rounds. You guys are going to have to tell me that. Do you want to talk about our friends? Mike Cusack was in the chat just a few minutes ago. Always appreciate Mike. And we're going to have to invite Mike and Jeff in to talk college football. The Hanson brothers right there. And if you're ready to take charge of your financial future, look no further than the Wealth Advantage Group, located in historic downtown Northville and owned by those two guys, two brothers with over 20 years of industry experience. They understand that your financial goals are as unique as you are. That's why they offer personalized expert guidance to help you navigate the complexities of financial planning. Now, whether you're saving for retirement, you're getting ready to sell your company, you're already in retirement, they can help guide you through every step of your financial journey. They work with clients throughout all stages of life and have clients in over 20 different states. Look, the investment world is a complex one. So if you're ready to start taking your finances more seriously, it might be time to work with the experts. Give my friends a call. Reach out to the Wealth Advantage Group at 248-773-8574. Seriously, these guys are going to take care of you as they've taken care of me and hundreds of people in the area. 248-773-8574. Check out their website at www.thewealthadv.com. Good stuff. Eric said, Sean, I have my Tigers hat on my vacation. Good. I wish I had a hat on. I feel naked without a hat on.
Me too.
When did you start wearing hats?
Right after high school.
See, were you one of those high schools you weren't allowed to wear hats?
Yeah.
It happened the year after I graduated. Like literally the year after I graduated, because my whole class, we had the flow coming out of the back of the hat and everything. And the year after, they banned hats.
Yeah, we weren't allowed to wear hats in high school. And then when I got to college, I was like, I'm wearing a hat every day.
Yeah. Jason said, let's say worst case scenario, they stripped Michigan of the natty. I witnessed it and I'll never forget it. Should be 2 natties in my life, but they got hosed in 97. You know what happened in 97 and you know what happened in 2023. Like they can't take that away from you.
Yeah, I don't, because of that reason. And like the NCAA's gotten a little smarter, not to give them any credit because they don't deserve any, but they haven't done that really. Like the last one that they stripped away was Louisville and they got roasted for it because it's just like, it doesn't work anymore.
Just stupid. Especially
in modern times. Like you can still see the highlights and everything.
You guys conversely, you know that cloud's never going to go away, that you're going to hear it from people the rest of your days. And you know what? If I were you, I'd be happy to hear about it. Oh, cool. Tell me about it again.
Yeah.
Like I'd have cool. I mean, people are going to be throwing darts at you. I'd be like this. Cool. Yo, you want to talk about a national championship again? Okay, go ahead. Throw right there. So what? Yep, they can do what they want, but they can't take away what we saw. Yep. Exactly. Barry, you lived it. That's it. Like, honestly, game, set, match. It's, like I said, sometimes you just got to shut your mouth and tip the cap. It's really that simple. Blake, can I ask you a question? I've been saving this. I can't believe how long we've gone. How can two guys talk so much and yet say so little? How is that humanly possible?
And why are 200 people watching two guys talk so much and say so little? That's the most incredible part.
The worst part is, like, our last show, we had a crap load of people. It was amazing. I mean, not just like live right now. That's a good number, but like we have ways to go back and look at how many, like over 1,000 people and all that stuff. It's what the hell's wrong with you people?
And we appreciate all of you, and we would really love all of you to subscribe to us on YouTube.
There he is, right there. All right.
Keep me around.
I gotta ask you before we tell you about Legacy. This is how crazy Mike and I are. So we're 26 days away, right, from week 0.
Yep.
And we already have our menu set. Like, we already do. except I'm leaving one little hole in the menu. What would my little Blakey poo like me to make?
Well,
That's what-
I suggested the smoked mac and cheese,
That doesn't count, though.
but
I
that
should
doesn't
ban you
count.
for- That's
No,
a
no, 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 no. I'm just saying I already brought that up.
shit crap.
No, that counts. That's a jar. I saw you on another. Yeah,
Damn
there it
it!
is. I saw you on another platform. Speaking of our jar, by the way.
Oh, did I? Did I bring
Yeah.
it? Oh, I did
Yeah.
didn't I, when I was on there. Yeah. No. Do you want your little magical pulled pork the way I made it the last time with my
Yes.
special ingredient?
Yes. Say less. Yes. Is Blake going to show? Kirk, don't do that.
He knows. He knows. Grilled chicken. So Mike has two different kinds of sausages. You know how we love our sausages. I got in.
Oh, do I?
I've got my andouille sausage. I'm going to do some beef short ribs. I'm going to do about 5 racks of ribs, and I'm thinking about 100 wings. So you guys better be ready to eat. All right, now I'll make sure you have your magical pulled pork with the special ingredient. Short ribs for the win. I love beef short ribs.
Your short ribs or any of it.
It's probably one of my
I
favorite.
can't even. I've gotten past the point. I can't do the bit anymore. I love your food,
You
and I miss it.
was it you when you guys were leaving the Lions season opener last year when we beat Kansas City and we were all, was it you that told me you had never had beef short ribs, or was it
Yeah,
our
it
mutual
was
friend
me.
Brady? Okay, it was you.
It might have
'Cause
been Brady too, but I know I hadn't.
I remember one of you guys like saying to me, "Wow, I never had these before," and I had a bunch left over, and I was like, "Here, take them." I like,
Yeah.
seriously, I was like, that's the way you should do it, though. When you do it, you have a lot of food, right? I don't even know how many people are coming. It could be like, honestly, it could be like 20 guys. It could be like 10 guys.
Just a
So
bunch
just
of
be
dudes hanging
prepared.
out watching ball.
Yeah, there's a good chance our pants will come around our ankles, though, right? We'll all turn into penguins about 10 minutes into the first game because college football's back.
It's true.
I will. I'm not even hiding it. Sean's special sauce. I do have special sauce. Like I told you what I did, though, right? I don't have.
Yes.
I here. Listen, I have no problem saying it here. All right. So, first, what I do is I get like.
Everybody, get your notepads out.
Yeah, I have no problem. I've done like tutorials on the first thing I do is I put in the pulled pork. I put as a base horseradish mustard. And then I put the rub all over it, and I mean all over it very liberally. And then I put it on, and then when it's 160, okay, this is the choice that a lot of people make. Some people wrap it. I choose not to because it gives me a good strong bark. But at 160, I go out there with a Cajun injector, and I inject the hell out of that pork. I mean, inject the hell out of that pork. To where it's juicy and it's got, I wouldn't even say it's Cajun-y. It's just got, would you agree, Blake? It's just got a little extra oomph to it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. It's not like overpowering at all.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah. Bill said, tell us slower. Okay. Ready? Kristen said, sounds dirty. All right.
It is.
You get that pork. You rub that horseradish mustard all over that ass. It is called a butt. I'm not lying. So you put that horseradish mustard all over that ass. Then you grab that rub. You massage every little inch of it.
What is happening?
Gotta go up underneath as well. And then you put it in the smoker. You get it to 160. And if you're not covering it, I'm telling you guys, this is probably going to take you like 15, 16 hours. Then you have to inject it. You have to inject it once it hits 160, and you just bury it with, whatever kind of injection thing you want. That probably didn't come out the best way that I wanted, but we use that Tony Kachari's, and it's awesome. Just know Shauner injects all his special sauce into the butt. That's true. Hot. Beef injection. Yes.
You don't have to read everything that comes up on the chat.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do. I really do. But no, and you know what? It comes out really good. And it was funny. I was talking to my son the other day, and he said, I can't wait to come home for 2 reasons. I want your pulled pork, and I want to eat a rack of ribs, just destroy a whole rack of ribs myself. And the rack of ribs is easy. A little olive oil, and might I recommend a good Hungarian rub. I'm telling you. I'm not joking. You can find Hungarian rubs. Just does perfect with the. Here comes that day pick again. Hey, did you know,
Todd? While you're creating AI images, can you make a Ryan Day one with like barbecue sauce just all over?
Here we go. Oh, look at Todd! I can see him going. Yeah. I need a dip so badly. Did you know that thousands of Metro Detroiters have already called Legacy Partners to get help with their home and auto insurance? We did, and guess what? You're never going to believe it. They helped us. We got a huge discount, and that's what our friends at Legacy Partners do, because they are one of Southeast Michigan's top independent insurance agents. They provide a full-service, one-stop solution for all of your insurance needs, personal and business, large and small. Legacy has helped our listeners by fixing mistakes other agents have made, asking the right questions to get the right coverage put in place, and yeah, they help save you money. Let's be honest, at this particular juncture, doesn't everybody want to save a little money? Chances are, if you haven't checked your policies in the last year, you're paying too much and you could be underinsured. What are you waiting for? Do yourself a favor. Do me a favor. Most importantly, do you a favor and give Legacy Partners a chance to help with your home, your cars, life insurance, Medicare enrollment, or your business insurance needs. Call them today, 586-209-4106, or visit legacypartnersins.com to get started with your new show. Shawner is the Tony Balco of the meat game. Thank you. We do mess around a lot in my backyard. I'm not going to lie. You've been over, Blake. We've put some strange things on the smoker. What?
I just wanted you to be careful with your wording.
I got what you were saying. No, I've done some exotic things in my backyard. I want to see a show of Sean, Wojo, Stoney, and Blake. I haven't talked to those guys in years. Blake, does Mitch let you talk more on his show than Sean does on here?
Mitch asked me who I thought was going to be president today. That was a big deal.
Really?
Yeah.
Ray, I hope that wasn't a shot at me. Was that a shot at me? That wasn't. Blake, I let you talk, right?
Yeah.
Shut up.
I cut you off all the time.
Sean, give a shout out to Forester Township. Forester Township, what up? Where's Forester Township?
Shout out Forester. Nice area.
I got to look it up. Eric, where's Forester Township? Really, I don't. I'm usually good with Forester Township. Now I gotta. This is fascinating. Well, it's only a couple.
No, it was not a shot.
All right, Ray, I'm joking. Come on, give me a break. Blake in the answer.
I said Kamala.
You think so?
I don't know.
Yeah. North of Port Huron. Thank you.
Port Huron.
Beautiful area. I love
Port Huron?
Yeah. You don't like it?
No.
You are just so full of hate.
I grew up right, like Port Huron was like 25 minutes from me. I hated going up there. I'd avoid it at all costs.
Blake or Todd, before we get out of here, I cannot believe how long we've gone. Like, seriously, it's kind of embarrassing. This is double what we say we were going to go, right?
Yeah,
but
this is normal at the same time.
This one's a little more over, right? We went a
little. Oh yeah,
more.
we did. We were like, oh yeah, we're going to talk about this, and this. We did 40 minutes on college football to start the show.
Jeez, twist my arm.
I know. Darn. There it is. There it is.
It's so dumb. Do you know, sometimes it's so dumb, that's what makes it magical. Look at that. Oh, come here, Ryan, you big bear man. Give me a hug, bear man.
All right, I'm giving the wrap it up sign to that one. You love him so much.
All right, we'll talk. When do you want to talk again soon? You want to do something tomorrow?
Yeah, what's our schedule looking like for the week?
I know we have to do the hockey show Thursday. We're doing the hockey show. We have Kurt Kavisto and a couple players coming on from Brighton.
That'll
Whatever.
be awesome.
Yeah. So I'm working.
Let's do Wednesday. Do you want to do Wednesday?
That sounds good to me.
Let's do Wednesday.
Sounds
Let's
good
plan
to
on
me.
Wednesday. I'll take tomorrow off.
Okay. God bless you. All right. Todd, thank you. Thank you to all those guys. I love the Meta logo in the background, Todd. Yes, I caught that. The AI art is so bad. That's what makes it beautiful, though, right?
It's so bad, it's good.
It is. Can you put up the Tony Romo one? Like, Todd, we're just wasting time. This is awesome. Not the Tony Romo love one, but the fake Tony Romo one. Didn't he have an AI?
One, it was the is it this one?
Look how bad that is, and I love every second of it.
Both of them look like Tony Romo.
With the boneless buffalo wing sauce, because boneless buffalo wing sauce is totally different than wing sauce.
I didn't even catch that the first time.
Awesome. That's what Tony was stuck on the 401.
This is great for all of the audio listeners we have too.
Oh,
they all have to go back and watch on YouTube now.
Yeah,
real shame.
Please go to YouTube, watch on YouTube, like, subscribe, all that crap. Okay. In the meantime, thank you all. We'll talk to you soon. Peace. Later. Bye.
Off the Air with Sean Baligian, featuring Sean Baligian and Blake Majchrzak. Produced by Todd Losey and Blake Majchrzak. Executive produced by Sean Baligian and Todd Losey. Theme song, incidental music, and related sound effects are from Play It Loud by Jam Studio. Engineering, mixing, and graphic design support provided by the unsyndicated podcast team. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Off the Air with Sean Baligian on all your favorite channels. While you're there, be sure to rate and review the podcast. Got something to say to Sean? Call the unsyndicated hotline at 248-237-3257.